Welcome, friends. How are we? I am Phil. Are we having a good time? Are we having a nice day? Oh, shit. Sorry about that. Everything just started happening at once there. That shouldn't have fucking happened. I am Phil, as I have already said, and may say again. Good evening. I hope you are all well. I am just going to... Oops. Buy me a coffee? Question? Clipboard. Link. So, we had a couple of things to talk about tonight, but not particularly anything in particular, if that makes any sense, which it doesn't. Excuse me. I've had a bad experience at Harrods this week. H Butte, that little Harrods thing that they have. It's a little beauty store. It's all right. It's not, I mean, there's a few lovely sales associates, including the lass who I was dealing with, so I don't want it to come across as though she isn't great, because she was lovely. The pair of them were, actually, at the Tom Ford stall, but I'm having a bit of problem with with getting my Harrods reward card certified and getting this, like, introductory offer. You know, when you sign up, you get a voucher for like £20 off your next purchase. And I did all of this and signed up and everything, but apparently, my card hasn't been like verified or anything like that, so the points can't go on. Fucking mental. So I'm trying to get that sorted out to get £20. They have a bottle of something that I want that is no longer available, I don't think. So that's shit. And I want £20 off it, by Allah. Oh, excuse me. Right, where are we? Oh. So let me find out where the chat is, and I will start greeting and saying hello. Sorry, friends. I'm still trying to get to grips with this new phone. It is a Google Pixel 7. You may have seen the adverts. Hello, Adam D. Justin, good evening. Indecents, welcome. Peter Kokorin, hi. Justin is wearing DHI. I am wearing La Douleur Exquise, Eugene's fragrance today. My friend absolutely loves it on me. She even commented on it. It's massively strong. I put it on this morning, and I walked into her house about 45 minutes ago, and she was like, "Ooh, is that like the fragrance Eugene made?" And I was like, "Yes." She was like, "It smells like a Mitsuko or something like that." And I was like, "Yeah, he went for the fine French perfume sort of thing." So he's pretty much loving it. Good evening, Jonathan. Good evening, Dushan. How are you? Scent of the night, Diaghilev. Nicky Buonforte, welcome. Rabbitable, how are you? Hi, bud. The other day you said I'd like to have a bottle of Perfume. How bad am I? I just paid for a 90ml cheaper mate of mine. Good price. Oh, well done. Paroli, good morning. You guys will have a new PM again. Oh, God almighty. Absolute shit show. Absolute fucking shit show. John says, great choice, Dushan. Herb says, hello, one and all. Welcome, Bariatrion. Nikki is wearing boy toy. Or toy boy. Herb says, scent of the night, volutes, sweet. Yes. Yes. Just on the right side of sweet, though. It's not an evil sweetness. It's not too sweet, you know? It's not like a Baccarat Rouge or it's not like one of those caramel sort of fragrances. Jonathan is wearing Nino Cerruti Porom. Paroli is wearing Pavarotti. Nice. Shiva says, hello, fragrance enthusiasts. Scent of the day. Tea Habanero, underwhelming. It's never called underwhelming, is it? Habanero. That'd be a great name for a perfume. Underwhelming. Underwhelming man. Many women call men underwhelming, to be fair. Ah, yes. Underwhelming for her. Hi, Jonathan. Thank you. I know that you like Corpus Equus, but how do you like Eau du Sorel? Let's send it to Ramsey, says Dusan. I was wearing La Geleric ski yesterday and was turning heads, says Adam. It is big. Like, I've been able to smell it all day. Just found a bottle of Teatro alla Scala for 200 rand, says Justin. Nice. Duck, I saw your post on Carolina Hatchet Herrera. Haha. God almighty, that was grim, wasn't it? See the state you left her in? It was like she sharpened it or something like that. In case you missed it, in the community tab today, I posted a link to a story in the fucking Daily Mail, and I apologise for that profusely, but that's just where I found it. They're on. I don't like the Daily Mail, but the Daily Mail's online presence is better than 99% of like any news outlet. It's just a shame that politics is hideous, and it's free as well online. So fair play to them. But there was a woman who attacked her ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend with a bottle of Good Girl by Carolina Herrera and cut her up something filthy. She got a suspended prison sentence, like a 1 year prison sentence, suspended for 2 years, and she should have got 5 years because it's assault with it's a Section 18. It's assault with a weapon, and she cut her. It's a Section 18 under British law. Section 18 is where you wound someone with intent, and that's what you did. 5 years at least should have started the sentencing at 5 years. Scandalous. Shiva says that would be a great name. Underwhelming for men. Underwhelming him. Dushan says, I just missed to buy a 30ml Mousse Illumine by Rogue. Someone was faster than me. Yeah, it happens to me as well. Jonathan says, Dushan, I've only smelled it in passing. I liked what I remember. You like? Peter says, I didn't think there was such a thing as a cheap Patou. The thing with Patou is you've got to make sure you get the right bottle. There are many bottles. Underwhelming Hom and underwhelming Femme, says Fernando. They're all out there. Let's be honest. Adam D, do you like La Geleric ski? Says Dusan to Adam. Shiva says, I must get a backup of LDE. It's becoming that go-to fragrance for me, says Shiva. Quick, buy. I don't know how many's left. I must get a... Oh, sorry, I've read that. Dusan says, Jonathan, I like anything that was made by Duchefort. Agreed, says Jonathan. I'm a big fan of Duchefort. Of course, says Adam. To Dusan. I do enjoy the scent. Can't wait to see what's next from Eugene. I know what's next from Eugene. I have a bottle of it. But the LDE is still in play. I don't know how much is left, to be fair. I don't know if there's like a little bit. I don't know if there's a lot. Oops. I need my calculator. This new phone's an absolute nightmare. 240 times 124. Yikes. That's a lot of money. Sorry, I'm fucking all over the place. Oh, so what have we been doing? I haven't been streaming much. I think I've got a sore throat. I think I've got like some kind of ailment. And I'm not sure I should be taking my tablets later on tonight. I mean, I'm going to, but whether I should be or not, it's another matter, you know? We keep it on the down low, says Adam. I keep it on the down low so much that I regret saying what I've already said. I should have denied the fact that Eugene's even got any other fragrances to release. Dushan says, Rich, if you have a second Eugene's fragrance, then you're ahead of your time. I've got all three of them, mate. I hate to brag. I don't hate to brag. I do hate to brag. I'm not trying to try and wind you up. But I have got bottles of all three, and I am very honoured to have bottles of all three. And I am very chuffed. But I'll leave it there. Galen is here. Livestream 69.3. Galen's nominated me to be the next Prime Minister. Vote quack. Let's get it trending, friends. Oops. Vote quack. Richard, you're second. Oh, sorry, I've read that. Scent of the day, Arige Lamiti, says Matrax. Chuffed to bits even, says Barry Atrion. Peter says, my money's on an iris next from Eugene. You want to bet? Dushan, I'm sampling Treyi by Nila Verneria right now. Speaking of Duchefort, never heard of it. I have multiple bottles of Eugene's fourth fragrances, Galen. Outrageous. I saw a comment somewhere saying, is Eugene's fragrance made by Navitus or Galleria? And I didn't say anything. So I should have said something and just laughed in their faces, but, you know, I didn't. I can't even remember where I saw it now. Like, somebody sent us, like, a thing, and they were like, look. The new Arige collection is amazing, says Matrax. What new collection? So what is the new collection you are talking about? Because I've ordered the 7th collection sample set, and I'm going to go through them. When I get them, you know. The last time I got a full sample set off him, I was not impressed. The 6th sample set didn't impress me at all. I wouldn't have paid any of them. I wouldn't have paid anything like the money that he was asking for any of those fragrances. The Minister of Scent, that's right. Russian Adam reduced the price of the full collection, says Peter. Rabbit says, Patu pour homme can be cheap if you know my mate Simey. Matrax says, yeah, they come out individually next month. Dushan says, Jonathan, I haven't tried that one. I will buy a Shoka. Thank you for the suggestion. Hello, Josie. How are you? Me too. I went through the sample set and it's amazing, says Matrax. Josie says, I just ordered samples of most Hermes Essence. They're good. Yeah, I would say it's the most wearable, says Matrax. I'm wearing our Mafla de Le Club Intense. Has anyone tried Nawab Al Oud from Ormond Jane? I was looking at it yesterday with Richie J. Me and Richie J spent a few hours lurking in and around Harrods and Pizza Hut and places like that. I looked at it, but I didn't try it. I would have tried it if I knew you were going to ask. Pradeep says, someone sold Fahrenheit Absolute for €18. What? What was it, like a partial? It had to be an auction, that, surely. You know. Somebody's dropped a Horlicks there. Peter says, when we talk about Navitus, are we talking about Redolescence from YouTube's line? Yes. Well, he's the spokesman. He's the face, the front. You know? Pradeep, that's so cheap, says Dushan. How do you feel about Almond Man? I quite like Almond Man, actually, Matrax. Dura Rose sent us a sample. It's very nice, but I wouldn't pay the big money they want for it. I want the big bottle, but I want like at least I want it at least like 20% off. But it is nice. It is very nice. I like juniper. I'm a fool for juniper. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me indeed. Not whilst I hydrate though. Although I am going to hydrate right now. How was I to know that this was always only just a little game to you? Oh, heavens. One moment. I am going to hydrate. Good Lord, am I going to hydrate? Oh, foul. I'm throwing Dura Rose's Legalian sample on the floor. Oh. Wow. What am I looking for here? Oh, dear me, right. Someone 100ml on Vinted. That is very cheap for a lot of perfume. That some people just don't know what they've got. They do exist. I have an atomizer, Robert Bariatrion, good but not my favourite from the house. My favourite Fahrenheit flanker, says Paroli. Anuj, welcome. Pradeep says, the funny thing is they messaged about the Fahrenheit Absolute and apologised saying no box. Dushan says, here is a legend. Hello, Anuj. Anuj, I've just dropped my phone on my face. That's what I've done. I owe Anuj some money, which I will have to sort out in the coming days. I'll try and sort that next week for you. Oh, God. Sorry, it's just been a series of me making noises at the minute, hasn't it? Rich, what are your thoughts on Nikolai, New York Intense, says Adam? I don't like it. I don't like most stuff from Nikolai. There's a couple of things I like. There's There's a couple of things I like from Nikolai, but not New York Intense, far too powdery. Josie says, Richard, sounds like you're hitting a bong. Oh, I'm not. But if I do, I'll let you know. I haven't got a bong, to be fair. I mean, I could always make one. But I'm not, no. Oh, that Mitch, scent of the day, Gucci Pour On 2. Nice. Hello, Germs. Welcome. I smelled something today that smelled very, I'll tell you what it was. It was a Lalabo. Was it Thé Noir or Thé Matcha? I think it was Thé Noir. It smelled a lot like Gucci Pour On 2. A lot. Peter says, they're all RMAF anyway, aren't they? Yes. Yeah. You're right, yeah. Dushan says, hey, news, my dad wants to buy your whole store. I tried that. Josie says, wearing the Daleric skis today, so am I. Outrageous. Paroli, I have never smelled it, says Pradeep. Matrax says, we need to see a Persola's duck stream. Me and Persola's, right? I really like Persola's. I respect him a lot. His manner and my manner probably couldn't be further apart, but we overlap in a lot of certain things about Perfume. It's just I'd say he's much more of a gentleman. I'm a bit more rough. And I said, well, by a bit more rough, I mean a lot more rough. He's very, very well put together, very well spoken, very, he's a gentleman. I'm more rough, But I would love, I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it. But I wouldn't be offended if Persola's turned around and said, I'm not doing a stream with you, you'll ruin us. But I do like him, actually. He's proper sound. Antonio Hobson says, hello, everyone. Rich, how are you? I'm all right. How are you? Scent of the day is Panthea Iris Luca, 777. Is that a Stephen Humbert Lucas? So I know Rampton Vedati talks about them a lot. Peter says, sweet Jesus, you in the bath? No. No. I can't get in the bath. I have to have showers. Baths are a nightmare for me. It's getting in and out. It's getting like up and down. Oh, one of my mates today was like, Rich, I've spotted a car. Would you mind taking us to like have a look at it and buy it? I was like, yeah, no problem. Where is it? He was like, it's in South Wales. I was like, no. I was like, mate, I went to Leeds the other day and I'm still not over it. And he was like, South Leeds is like 250, 300 miles away. I was like, mate, you've got no chance. Like, I'd probably have to stay over for a couple of days. Do you know what I mean? I was like, you're best off getting the train, mate. Sorry. I hate to do that to you, but you've got no chance, like. Nice car he's found, though. Josie says, Anuj, good to see you on JJ's stream. Sorry, I'm yawning. Anuj says Antonio. Paroli says, Project, it's quite different. It's got a woody incense now. Barry Atron says, Jonathan, which are your favourites from Ormond Jane? Like Rich, I like Ormond Man as well. Yeah, I like Ormond Man. Everyone just saying hello to each other. Gucci Pour On 2 smells like a melted Mr. Freeze blue popsicle, says Paroli. I think it's quite dark. I think it's got something that's got like it's a great designer fragrance, I think. Like you wouldn't get a designer fragrance that smells like that anymore. Jonathan says, my favourite Ormond Jane as it stands, Taif Elixir. I also like Man. I'll go after more of the Elixir, says John. Pradeep says, I can't stop wearing Iris Terefi. Really nice iris with leather under a roasted cloud. Kind of forgotten. Not by Bob. Not by Bobby Ono, it's not. Or is that Queer Beluga? It's one of them. The Taif Elixir is one of the best roses I've smelled in some time. Yes, says Antonio. Ah, American Pie, welcome. I enjoyed your video with your good lady the other day. It was fun. Hello, everyone. Scent of the day, Ensar Oud Crime and Punishment original formula. Ooh, I bet that's worth some money. Jonathan, what about Rose de Taif Extra, says Dushan. From Ormond Jane, says John. Shiva says, what's the deal with reviewers pushing Latafa? I sense a marketing conspiracy. So many reviews in my thread over the past month. Yet you're probably onto something there. It's a big marketing push. Remember, if it looks like a marketing push, and it sounds like a marketing push, and it feels like a marketing push, it's probably a marketing push. And why should you pay for a bottle of Latafa when they don't? You know? It's as simple as that. You're paying them to sell to you. Ah, Audrey Jane, welcome. Jonathan, that raw gold is absolutely amazing. Took a shower last night and it's still on my skin. Took a shower this morning and it's pushing through this Ensar I'm wearing, says American Pie. Good Lord. No, it's from Paris Monte Carlo, says Dushan. Yes, I thought that Ramsey really rates that fragrance, Dushan. The Taif Elixir. I get an absolute ton of ISOE Super from it, though. They got a buttload of views. Much more people are seeking clones than before, says Pradeep. Yeah, totally. Because designers are pricing themselves out the market. It's disgraceful, the prices they're charging for fragrance now. Absolutely outrageous. I like Taif Rose fragrances above others, says Jonathan. Need to get the Botnikoff sample set. Any Rex? Well, I've got Oud Maximus and Oud Monarch. And I think I prefer Oud Monarch. Or is it Oud Maximus? Which was the one that's got the chocolate in it? I've got two, and I prefer one of them over the other. I just can't remember which one, but it's got the chocolate in it. Oh, the attack of the clones, huh, says Shiva. I like Portrait of a Lady, but I also like Ramsey's comment that if you have lyric squeeze, that pole is redundant. Pranav Shukla. Sorry, I'll say that again. Pranav Shukla. Finally, blind buying Geranium Pour Monsieur on your recommendation. Hope you don't like it any less now. If anything, I miss it because I'm not wearing it at the minute because it's too cold. Pranav. And welcome. Hello. It's nice to see you. I love Geranium Pour Monsieur, and frankly, I can't wait to wear it again next spring and summer. What a fragrance that is. Beautiful in the heat. Pradeep says, hello, Audrey. Audrey says, hello, Doug. Hello, Pradeep. How is Audrey Jane? Dusan says, hello, Audrey Jane, a woman with the most beautiful voice, after Maggie Rayleigh. You coughed for Oud Maximus and said tight, tight, says Pradeep. Oud Monarch is the one with the cocoa. I really like that one, actually. Should be Oud Monarch, says Gloopy Moop. Welcome, Gloopy Moop. That one is great. I also like Moss Cologne. Most of the overly floral fragrances from Botnikoff, not so much. I'm not big on florals. I prefer Oud Maximus, says Jonathan. I need to wear them. It's getting to the time now where today was a miserable day. And I've been waiting for a day like today to try La Douleur Exquise. I sent a message to Eugene earlier. I was like, I've been waiting for a day like today to try La Douleur Exquise because I want to try it in every weather. You know, I've tried it in the summer. I've tried it in the heat. I've tried it when it's a little cooler. And now it's getting to the point where it's like miserable, rainy, misty, awful weather. And I want to see what it's like. And it worked quite well. It worked quite well in that weather today. The rose is wet. Antonio says, from the guy that knows the least in the chat, the Delight Skis is the best rose I've smelled, says Antonio. Can't get enough. Back up for sure, says Antonio. Try a sample of Musk Khabib, says Shiva. Audrey Jane says, cheers, Dushan, you are too kind. Matrak says, have you tried anything besides Hortus from the Gucci Garden collection? Yes, I've tried a Midnight Stroll. I've tried Tears of Iris. I've tried most of them. And I thought they were forgettable. I thought Tears of Iris was nice, but if you've got Iris Sondra by Naomi Goodser, which I do, you don't need it. I think that they're overpriced. I think they're good, but they're not great. And as where I stand at the minute, I don't think any of them would improve the collection. If you want the truth. Audrey Jane's scent of the day is Cristal. Yeah, I might wear some Cristal soon. Musk Khabib is great, says Antonio. Thanks, Audrey, says Dusan. Josie says, I wanted to try it on a busy day. I'm walking around my college a lot and it's a cool day. It is cool. It was cool and miserable here today as well. Brodeep says, Botnikov sample set is €110. Wow. But how many samples do you get? Like, I think the zoologist one was like 100 quid or something around that sort of thing. And it was well worth it, I thought, just for the experience of going through them all, you know. I might send it to Audrey Jane and see what she thinks of them. That'd be quite cool. Botnikov sample, so sorry, I've read that. Afternoon, Micah, how are you? Josie says, oh, Rich, Iris Sondra is several times better than Tears of Iris, and what, like 3 times cheaper? It is. Iris Sondra by Naomi Goods is fabulous. If you want that waxy, natural iris, concrete, like kind of, and when I say iris concrete, I mean like the material, not like, it doesn't smell like concrete. It smells like wax, waxy iris, like waterproof iris, you know? If you want that, Iris Sondra by Naomi Goodser. Justin says, wish I could go back to winter, getting quite warm here already in South Africa. Oh dear. Actually, are you not further up? I don't think, are you in South Africa, Justin? It's somebody else who's in the Congo, isn't it? I can't remember. I think Justin is in South Africa. It's 74 degrees here in Georgia, says Shiva. Bring on the real chilly weather, for goodness sake. American Pie says, there's a note in Iris Sondra that is just repulsive to my nose. I don't know what it is. I wonder. I'm burning my Ambre Nuit candle at the minute, and it is lovely, but I'm telling you, if there's not tobacco in there, right, I'll be a monkey's uncle. There's something very tobacco-y in there, you know? Pradeep says, Iris Sondra was a little too vegetal for my taste. Yeah, it is. It's got that kind of vegetable-y sort of thing going on, like a root, like a sprouty root. But I really enjoy it, like. Yes, I am, says Justin in deepest Cape Town. Welcome. Welcome, Omar. How are you? Woof. Long live Liz Truss, says Frank. You might be a little bit out the loop there, mate. Iris Sondra does slightly remind me of a funeral, says Joe. That's interesting. Scent of the Day's Habit Rouge, amazing stuff. I sold my bottle to Mr. Pleasant and he picked it up in the last couple of days and he's happy with everything. And if he is happy, I am happy. So that is that deal concluded. I've also sold a vintage bottle of Opium Port Homme, and if it wasn't to Peter Kokorin, I wouldn't have sold it. I've also sold my Bois de Zil, so that's gone. I've also sold Iris Malacan, thank God. Because that's fucking awful. I sold Fougère Royale and I sold Eau de Lavande by my vintage Eau de Lavande by... Oh, Christ, what was she called? Anna Goutal. Audrey saying hello. It's 30 Celsius the other day, says Justin. That's a heat wave for me. I wilt under that kind of temperature. Dear Lord. Frank says, scent of the day, Gucci guilty, absolute. Yes, I'm just waiting to get to about November. Audrey says, did you sell the Moon for £200? No, I didn't. I've got it up for £450 and that's what it's worth. I'd sell it to anybody in here for about 400 quid, but I'm not selling the Moon for fucking £200. You've got no chance, mate. I was waiting until Mal keeps putting up the price and make a profit on it. Look at Audrey Jane causing trouble. Little rascal. Look at that little face. Cheeky. Just waiting to cause bother at any moment. Long time no see, says Justin to Audrey. Frank is a rascal. Matthew Bernard says, welcome, Matthew. Xerjoff is the greatest brand I've ever discovered. Hi, Rich. Matthew getting off to a terrible start. Oh, dear. Matthew, if you like Xerjoff, I'm happy for you, mate. It's just I don't. But if you love them, good for you. Love them and be happy, I say. Hey, Justin, says American Pie. Take me to South Africa. I hate the cold. The humidity here makes it so much colder than it is. That's strange. Audrey says, do you want to be blocked, Frank? No Liz Truss here, thank you. Not anymore. Frank says Xerjoff can do no wrong. Oh, dear. Omar says, I think I will sell my Heritage Gold cap. I got the first newer version. Somehow I prefer it. No need to have two versions. Vintage Habit Rouge is lovely, says Justin. Liz Truss made fragrances from Harrods and Selfridges, cheaper for Americans. Priorities, says Frank. Omar says, actually, I just put a rule to myself. No two versions of a fragrance and no backups unless the current one is almost gone. Frank says, that's a good deal on the Moon. Cheeky rascal, says Barry Atrian. Pradeep says, British Parliament is movie-level dramatic. Yikes. It's just the fucking Tory party. It's a fucking clique. The Tory party is the landed gentry and fucking upper middle classes all trying to just like hoard money, and they're all fucking on the board of like different companies, and they're just bastards, really. They can all fuck off. And it's the parliamentary party as well. It's not necessarily people who vote Tory. It's the people who are fucking, who are doing the deeds. That Jacob Rees-Mogg needs to be fired into the sun. Hot takes today, says Frank. Justin says, get that man out of here. Spaced Out says, Baby Cat, the next hype beast fragrance. It's poor. It's not bad, but it's not great, like. Fosco says, hi all. Rich, did you get your Arish sample set yet? No. Not even close, mate. But the post were on strike today, so we'll not be getting any post until tomorrow. Oh, excuse me. Oh shit. I just got wax on my finger. That's not very clever. Although it does smell nice. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Where is that knife? Oh, it's over there. I know exactly where it is. Oh, fudge. Dior and their blessed wick from their candle is off center. And so it's not it's not burning straight down. Justin says, Life of American Pie, we can swap places. I love the cold, hate the heat. Audrey Jane says, Tories make out they will help the poor. Lamau, they will not. They hate the poor. Okay, kind of weird, but I'm getting a little bit of smoke from La Deliric Ski, says Josie. Could be the Castorium. Omar says, yeah, I see Baby Cat in all Facebook groups. They forgot Tuxedo again. My friend Dushan, says Fosco. Zerjov is violent shite, says Matrax. I kind of agree. I am not into Zerjov. But if Matthew likes them, let Matthew be happy. Who came up with the name Baby Cat, says Pradeep? Well, all of that line by YSL is named after items of clothing. And they've got shoes. YSL makes shoes called Baby Cat shoes. Why they're not just called kitten shoes is beyond me, but there we are. Hillary is here. Welcome, Hillary. Celia is fine. I've been feeding her pretend fish, which I bought from the pretend shop. So she is fat and full. And she's as happy as can be. She's right next to us. I'll send you some pictures. Baby cat trolls, pussycat dolls, says Dusan. Frank says, I haven't tried Baby Cat yet. Only exclusive YSL I own is Tuxedo, and I love it enough to back it up, says Frank. Anyone tried Noble Leather? Yes, Justin, I have tried Noble Leather. It smells just like Tuscan leather, but not quite as good. Audrey says, take the candle back. It's going to be a problem. I've already burned like a third of it. You know? Fosco says, I never smelled Tuxedo. I just wrote it off in my head, F. Frank. Is that good? It's that good. Zerjov is the greatest brand since Girl On. Yeah, Zerjov ass cheeks, says Frank. You've been clapping cheeks. Dushan says, music of the night, Clavier Concert, number 5, Ludwig van Beethoven. Man, this is better than Vacation on Bora Bora. Shiva says, that's a nice fragrance. What's it called? Baby Cat Lamau. Yes, that's the problem with Baby Cat. There is no question of owning a bottle of that stuff because you've got to then tell people who ask if they like it, what you're wearing. And there is no question of me ever uttering the words Baby Cat to someone who I might be interested in smelling it. What fragrance are you wearing, big man? And I'd be like, I'm wearing Baby Cat. They would probably just, I don't know what they would do, but it would be very embarrassing to you. She's a chubby little seal, says Audrey Jane. She is. She's thick. She's thick. Spaced Out says, Mitch, do you like Agar Ebony? I need to get a sample of that one. It's all right. It's like a chocolatey faux oud. It's not. It hasn't changed my life. I've got like a 15 mil of it. It hasn't changed my life. I won't lie. Oh, you fucking little bastard. Alright, let's just get rid of this cunt, sorry. You know you've made it when you get the sex bots. Mitch, fat and spoiled is best, says Hillary. That's me. Me and Seal. Yes, she is full of pretend fish. I love that stuff, Spaced Out, but it's very minimalist. It doesn't seem to be very popular. There's just not a lot going on there for me. Fosco, it's a nice modern spicy patch with ozonic touches like Gucci Pour Homme Deux. Agar Ebony is a cross between Cuir d'Orange and Jo Malone Oud and Bergamot. Nigel Oud, says Frank. Justin says thick. Anyone like Myrrh and Tonka by Jo Malone? Yes. But it doesn't last. So it's okay at best, Oud Cole, says DJ. I've got two of them. I've got Oud and Cherry Oud. I haven't tried them yet, but I'm going to do a first impression at some point in the next couple of days. I've got a horrible feeling they're going to be shit. Whoa, who was spamming like that? Just some porn bot. Darn it, what do I have to do to get a sex bot? Poor Hillary. Sex botless. Hillary has no bot. Agar Ebony is very calming and pleasant wear. Not the case with most at Western Ouds, says Fosco. I think it smells a bit like Lidge. It's got that sort of chocolatey brown, sort of a little bit sweet sort of thing. Sticks, Schlonghammer, welcome. I just blind bought Hermes Heris good fragrance because I needed an iris for my collection. I hope it's as nice as people claim. It is a very good fragrance. Which version did you get? Did you get the old blue bottle? I got a vintage purple blue bottle thing because I fucking love the color. I just love that bottle. The new version, the smell's quite good, but the performance isn't there. It is worth, I think, paying the bit extra for the vintage bottle. But I mean, I love the bottle as well. And it's just a terrible thing to do is to buy a perfume for the bottle. I would advise everybody against it, but it's the fact that it was like a few things fell into place. Like Anoush had a tester, I think. It was the vintage bottle, vintage, which is like the main thing, and it was a good price as well. So it is a good fragrance, though. The smell is still intact, but I'm not sure about the performance. Frank has listened to The Sound of Music. Heris is lovely. Need a bottle, says Justin. I'm getting more interested in Armani Privés. Need to try Cuir Noir and Mare Imperial, says Spaced Out. Just got Bellamy. Might get that next, says Justin. Abe, what's up? How are you? Cherry Oud is literally nothing new, and Oud Nude is bad, says DJ. I've got a horrible, horrible feeling of impending doom about those, you know. I'm trying not to prejudge them, but I bet they're terrible. kind of means I am prejudging them, but you know what I mean. Justin, do you have vintage Bellamy? I have got both vintage versions of Bellamy. The Jean-Claude Elena reformulation is an easier wear, although the original's just like a dark black fragrance, like a coal store. It's black. It's not as black as Sergio Soldano for men, but it's blick. Give Agar Ebony to a Middle Eastern lad and say it's Oud. Watch what happens, says Prodip. Sent the day Musa Lumine, says Abe. No, it's a new version. Would love to try the vintage, says Justin. Stick says, nah, just stuck with the modern. I found it on Mercari for $85. That's a good price. If I really like it, I'll just back it up with a blue bottle. Yeah. Baby Ant says, I'm going to beat my dick to this. Good Lord. Calm yourself. Ranier J's discovery set has convinced me to buy more Papillon. Money better spent. Ranier J, there's a... Eau de Sam is quite good for the first 20, 25, 30 minutes. And then it's like... Not. It doesn't sort of just goes off in like a sort of like like a bang average kind of direction, you know. It turns very average, like after about half an hour. It's like nothing you haven't already smelled. I need to find my Papillon samples. It's just the weirdest thing. I'm sure I've explained this before, but I bought a Papillon sample set, right? Smelled a couple of them, thought they were really good, and then promptly lost them for about 2.5, 3 years when I was like rejigging me room to get me desk in and everything. I found them again, and I put them somewhere, and now I've promptly lost them again, like a complete dick. So it's not ideal. It's nice, just that you're mostly paying for the materials rather than the blending, etc. I like it, says Abe. Gloopy Moop says, if you buy perfume for its bottle, make sure it's Roche Man. Multitasking. Baby Ant says, I'm going to beat my dick to this. Please don't. But, you know, just if you must. Christ. If you buy a fragrance for the smell and the bottle at the same time, just buy MDCI Chypropolitan with bust. I'm not sure how I feel about Chypropolitan. I've got a couple of samples of it. A spotted dick, says Frank. If you don't want to know, don't watch Time to Musk Up, says Antonio. Love Chypropolitan, but I don't like the bust. It's kind of tacky deuce. No bust for me. Tasseless sufficient, says Frank. Omar says, opinion on Bernakoff Coupe de Foudre. Coup de Foudre. Thinking and getting one in. No opinion, mate. Never smelled it. Never even heard of it until just now. I'm not big on ouds. I'm just of any descript. You know, of any description, whether they be artisanal or whether they just be like designer, like oud. If I want a dark fragrance, I'll probably get a leather, you know, or an amber, like a dark amber. Not massive on oud. If I'm being perfectly honest. I mean, don't get us wrong. I've got a few oud, like fragrances with oud in and oud in the name. But some people, I see people going down that rabbit hole, you know, the whole whack. I mean, it gets very expensive very quickly and you have very little to show for your money as well, you know. Like, I like when I spend a lot of money on a fragrance like those Dior Privés, the 450 mils. I like a bit. You can call us basic, right? And I'm sure some people will. But when I spend a lot of money, I want to have something big and fucking weighty to fucking show for it, you know. Like those 450 mil Dior Privés, I was like, you know, if someone comes at us like it, I was like, you know, fire this out a bazooka or like something. Like, you could fight people off with one of them, do some serious damage. But you can spend twice as much, 3 times as much on like a quarter toller, or even just like a couple of grams of an oud, you know, $1,000, no problem. And it's like, wow, well, if you want to do that, knock yourself out, but it doesn't do it for me, that. And then the smell as well. I'm not huge on the old oud. Maybe I just don't have the nose for it, like, you know? Maybe my nose will change and I will have the nose for it one day. These things happen. Have you tried Kalesh? Yes, but I can't remember it. Spaced Out says, I prefer Chanel, Dior, Hermes exclusive bottles. Glad that those are fragrances I mostly enjoy. Just high quality and no gimmicks. Yes, Dior's gone a bit off recently as far as gimmick is concerned. They've been doing some mad shit, like. Their Elixir collection. The lady in the shop put the jasmine and the patchouli on me yesterday. and the jasmine was huge, but the patchouli was just, there was just nothing there. She was like, it's very earthy, isn't it? I was like, yeah. I was like, I can't smell it. I'll tell you what I did smell, and I really enjoyed the Coromandel Pure Perfume. That is glorious. Can't wait to smell the Sycamore one, if anybody gets it in. I think you'd like Papillon, Duck. I think I'd like Papillon as well. Huge boobs. I've one in my cart on eBay, considering pulling the trigger. Don't beat it, stroke it, says Justin. Just wait until after the stream. You know, is what you do. That's calm. You know, you may do what you like, but Jesus. Offers a 100. MDCI offers a 100 ml in spectacular Mid Eastern decorated bottle. That's what I went for, says Shiva. Abe says only one I own from Papillon line is Salome or Salom. It's lovely, very strong. Paroli says most dudes don't like smell like oud, so I don't really mind. To me, I just equate it with woody notes. Fucking does my head in when brands do that. Woodsy notes, floral notes, ozonic notes, fuck off notes. You know what I mean? Just fucking say what it smells like. Oh, it smells like wood. You know how many different kinds of wood there are? I was watching Ramsey's fucking video from last night, man. 50 different kinds of fucking daffodils there are, you know. 50 different kinds of daffodils. Floral notes, my arse. Get out of here. Exotic woods, Pradeep, exactly. Exotic woods. What do you mean, exotic woods? Not presented to you by, like, Amazon, scantily clad fucking women in, like, fucking, like, wearing, like, bikinis coming out of the ocean. I love Spell 125. So strange, but good, says Jonathan. Fosco says, Shiva, the Silk Road bottles are out of this world. I'm jealous, mate, says Fosco. Shiva, that's the one with the bust. Jonathan says, I'll take quality over presentation any day, but as a collector, I like when the two are balanced, fragrance and bottle. Yes, I agree, Jonathan. Dushan says, that's right. Great fragrance in an ugly bottle would be okay for me. Yes, I would buy an ugly bottle if the fragrance was good enough to justify it. Yes, it's just nice when the two things are in harmony, you know? Serge Lutton fragrances used to be in beautiful fucking harmony, you know? You would get the stunning simplicity. I like simple bottles, you know? I think there's genius in simplicity. It's easy to make things complicated. It's hard to make things simple, you know? Serge Lutton was a master of that shit. Even the feminine... I found me Feminité Dubois, by the way. Thank God. It was right at the back of the last drawer. But it's much easier to make things complicated. How often have you ever found yourself trying to do something and it gets very complicated very quickly? It's very hard and tough to keep things simple. Serge Lutton's bottles, the old bottle, beautiful. Let the fragrances do the talk and change the label. Make the label do the work. You know? I really don't have any targets right now, says Frank. No, I don't really have any targets right now. It's weird. I feel like I'm in limbo. I want to eventually get Tom Ford Beau de Jour for once. I don't feel lacking in my collection. Yeah. For me, the big change was buying that vintage Derby. Like, I'd wanted that for years, and then I got it, and I was like, phew, it's going to take something special to improve the collection from here. You know? Obviously, if I can find vintage Serge Lutons, I'm just going to keep buying them up every once in a while. Find them, buy them. There is an original, oh my God, on American eBay, $900. An original Ambra Sultan in the bell jar bottle, right? $900, I think they want. No chance. Spaced Out says, finally got Prada number 8, a Popanax and Iris Ganesh samples on the way. Nice. Duchan says, Frank, if you like fougères, just buy Hubergon Fougère Royale. Very good chamomile note. And that I just sold mine. My favourite fragrances are from Bogway. Shit bottles, but I just love being able to see the juice, says Fosco. I like being able to see the juice. Yeah. Some bottles I've got, I can't see the juice, and it winds us right up. Like, you can't see anything of the juice. And it's like, ugh. Like the Queer Intense, some bloke, I'm selling my Queer Intense by Girl On, and some bloke was messaging us trying to offer us 50 quid for it, and it's a full bottle. I know it's full. I bought it brand new, and the bloke was like, yeah, well, I don't know that. And I was like, well, I'm fucking telling you it's fucking brand new, aren't I, dickhead? And he's like, yeah, but I don't know that. I was like, yeah, but I'm telling you, though. You know? Bell End. I was like, I don't like it, and I don't like being called a fucking liar either. He was like, I'll give you 50 quid for it. I was like, sod off and don't darken my towels any further. You know? Don't fucking come in here trying to get me to lower the fucking price, down from a very good price anyway, 75 quid. Be trying to knock half off, son, and then call us a liar. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter how polite you are. If you're being a bell end, you're a bell end. Helmet. Anyway. Fosco, see you like my. Spaced Out says, need to try Prada Queer Styrax. Glad Ramsey made me discover that Prada line. Very hard to find. I wonder if Anuja's got any. Anuj, do you have any of those old Pradas? Shiva says, Fosco, yes, the Silk Road bottles are spectacular looking. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to get the basic ones if I buy any more. Pradeep says a very dangerous thing. He says, Girl On, Queer de Roos is out there, duck. It is out there, you're right. Am I going to spend thousands of pounds on a bottle? No. No, I am fucking not. But if I can find one at a relatively good price, I hate to say it to you, you know, I really do, but it's better than the fucking Chanel one. It just is. Even the one I smelled, and I don't know how old that one was. Peter might be able to help us out if he knows how old it was, but Audrey says, came back into the room with Duck shouting Bell End 3 times. That's right. Completely out of context, but there we are. Spaced Out says, the label on that bell jar Amber Sultan is sexy as hell. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? The purple, it's got the purple writing with the border round, and then it's got the white label. Good Lord. Good Lord. Josie says, still haven't purchased anything for October yet. No, you don't need to. A&G is all... Jonathan's talking in code. Excuse me. You have Queer Styrax on eBay for about $100. If you're interested, it's Spaced Out. I'm interested, but... Jonathan says, agreed, Fosco. I have a precious partial. I have a precious partial. That is not easy to say off the cuff. I need to back it up before they disappear. Audrey Jane says, yes, came back into the room with the duck shouting Bell End 3 times. I wonder if a Bell End, like if you sit in front of the mirror, will like one like appear behind you. Some little bastard eBay buyer trying to like fucking bid you like half of what something's worth. Some absolute animals out there, you know. Some bloke from Pakistan offered us like 50 quid on something that I've got up for like, I'm selling a Koros Oda Sport Splash, right? So I'm selling one of those because I've got like 4 of them, right? So I'm going to put it back out into the wild from back where it belongs. You know, someone will be able to wear it. It's the Splash. Everyone will have a great time. Good for them, right? I want 150 for it, right? Somebody else has got one up for like 220, 230, right? And this is brand new from Anuj, 150 quid. Some bloke from Pakistan was like, I'll give you 50 quid for it. I was like, fuck away off with you. 1, I can't sell it to you because you're in Pakistan. 2, I'm giving you fucking 50 quid. 50 quid for it? Do you think you're fucking clever or something? Helmet. The fuck out of here. No, Jesse is my Ferrari caliber bottle in my collection. It is truly a home decor piece. Extremely glam, says Shiva. Well, it's not like a Ferrari perfume, though, is it? Because they're shite. Apart from this one I've got. Well, of course, I would say that. But you know what I mean? There's this one I've got. It's not even on Fragrantica. I can't find it anywhere. It's outrageous. It's very nice, though. And who sold it to us? Lovely bottle as well. This is before the turn to shit. I'll have to do some kind of, like, first impression on it or something like that. I have the big boy, says DJ. Oi, oi. Sticks, says Jonathan. Boat on the river, says Dushan. Me too, DJ. Probably my favourite perfume at the moment. I know, big words, says Fosco. My giblets get moist when I snipe on eBay, says DJ. It's not you, is it? It's not you offering us 50 quid for a perfume that's worth 3 times that, is it? That same seller on eBay also has vintage Rose de Nuit. Bastards. It's always people. You know what the problem with people who sell stuff like that on eBay? They know exactly what they've got. JJ says sniping bids. Stay back. Stay away from Mike. I've got 41 people following us on eBay now. I've only sold like 13 items. You know what I mean? The hell do they expect from us? I'm not going to put anything I like on there. I'm just trying to get rid of stuff that I like. I mean, to be fair, there might be like some stuff that there's some stuff I'm overloaded by, you know, like I've got too much. Not Balenciaga Pour though. Not selling that shit. This is one of the reasons that I'm trying to sell some stuff off so I get to wear the stuff I love more often, you know? Also, I didn't know you could do this, right? Actually, maybe I did, but I'd forgot. I held up my Balenciaga Pour Homme to the ring light, right? So it was a strong light through the bottle, and I could see how much was in it, right? And at this 100ml bottle, I must have used about 30ml. And I'm like, how the fuck have I done that? I haven't worn it that much. Not that much, you know? Maybe I just overspray. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that could have been a disaster, and I just drank out the candle. Imagine, on stream. Oh. Excuse me, I'm just having a chew. Ow. They want 700, says Abe. Well, I can keep it for 700, man. They might get 700, but not off me. Fosco says, DJ, stop buying, but I'll make an exception when that comes out and if Eugene releases a new one. Yeah, it's fairly safe to say Eugene's got 3. I don't know when the next one's coming out, but I'm not going to speak on it because it's not for me to say. Sheba says, DJ, wait, another bugway. Tell us more. My is a true fragrance love for me. Manly Sense, welcome. How are you? DJ says, Shiva, near the end of the month, it's meant to be a green style. Germ says, that's why I hardly include the word vintage in my search. If they know what they have, they charge too much usually, says Germs. Yeah, it'll turn up anyway. If you don't put the word vintage in, it's still going to have the name of the perfume, so you'll still get to see it anyway. You know? Somebody selling a bottle of Azure in the old style bottle. You know Estee Lauder Azure? Greggy boy very kindly sent me a sample of an old bottle he's got. the oak moss, and it's massive, huge. And I was like, ooh, I'll have a bottle of that. That's beautiful. That'll improve the collection, no doubt. Went on. Somebody somewhere on Etsy wants 350 quid for a bottle, and I was like, no, it's only 60 mil. Behave oneself. And then I found somebody else who had a 60 mil bottle for £200, and I was like, ooh. Send me pictures of the bottom. Sent us pictures of the bottom, had a batch code printed on the bottom, and I knew then it was a bad sign because it was like A34 or something like that, right? And they're the same batch codes that Tom Ford uses because he's owned by Estee Lauder as well. And I was like, oh, sugar and spice. So I put it into Check Fresh, and obviously it came up like fucking 2014. I was like, that is not a vintage bottle, mate. It might be the old style, you know, but you're pushing it there. You're pushing it there. That's not a vintage bottle. Not in my onion. I have a name. I have name from Bergway. Limited Ed. I'm jealous Jonathan missed out on that one, says Fosco. Shiva says, DJ, I hope it's massive considering the time of year it's being released. You can keep T-Rex, but the others I really like. What's this? Oh. What do you think of oak moss in your vintage Irish moss? Lovely. A lovely fragrance, Irish moss. Really lovely. What country are you in, Fosco? Fosco's from New York, or around that kind of area. Forgive us if I've misplaced you there, Fosco. Stick says, Jonathan, I just blind bought Hermes Hid East to add an iris for my collection. You ever smell it? Do you dig it? I got a modern bottle for $85, which is great price from what I see they sell for. It is a very good price, that, to be fair. What size bottle was it, Sticks? I'm imagining it was 100 ml. Andrea, welcome. Yeah, it's 100 ml, yeah. It is. It's a very good price, that. Morning Duck from Melbourne. Australia. Morning Duck from Down Under. Still Australia. How are you, Andrea? Jonathan says, I've not tried, Josh. I've heard good things. I just picked up Eau de Cologne and Eau de Orange Vert. Loving them so far. Oh, word. I finally managed to get my hands on Pomelato Uomo EDT. Can't wait to wear it tomorrow. I'm thinking I might be wearing some Teatro alla Scala at some point. It's a lovely amber fragrance. I remember when Galen got it and he was over the moon with it. Jonathan says, vintage Eau de Hermes next on my list. Just save your money up, right, and get a proper vintage. All right, don't buy anything else for a while and spend what you would spend on a haul on a proper vintage bottle, you know? Worth it to get like the old stuff. I mean, the new stuff's good enough, you know what I mean? It's good. But the old stuff's immense. I've got a little 20, is it a 25 or a 20 mil old pewter cap? And seriously, you can smell the heat from the cumin. It's like, it's got this spicy citrus. It smells like, you know, when, I don't know if you, like, you know, anyone who makes marmalade, right? But when my mom makes it, right, she cooks it in a big pan, right? But she just puts oranges in, like, whole, you know? She just puts, like, whole oranges in, like, doesn't even take the skin off. right? And like it's when she's cooking it, I mean, fills the house, for God's sake. The stench is outrageous. It's like she's getting her own back for when I overspray Balenciaga. And she cooks like these whole oranges, and it's like when she's cooking them, you can like if you go downstairs into the kitchen and you get near it, you can smell hot orange, and that's kind of like what like vintage Eau de Hermes is like. It smells like boiling citrus. Rabbit's going to bed wearing Perfume. You'll be having a good night. I wish you all the success. Manly, I just picked up a backup of Pomelato. Love it. Omar says, Eau d'Orange Vert is great. I have Pamplemousse Rose EDT, but the performance is really bad. On the list for selling. Yeah, those citruses aren't going to be... They're not going to be... Those citruses aren't going to be... those eau de cologne, sorry, don't have great performance. It's the nature of an eau de cologne. That's why I put them in decants and stuff and take them out with you. I've got a vintage Eau d'Orange Vert, and it's beautiful. Shiva says, Ferrari beautiful. That type of art you can't stop looking at. Even though I'm too big for a Ferrari, they are head turners. Great, John. They only made splashes, right? No, I have 2 sprays, says Jonathan. Oh, good stuff. I'm in the city of brotherly love, which I believe is Philadelphia. Fosco, reach out to me. I'll sort you out with a decant, says Jonathan. Jonathan needs to start making videos, doesn't he? He's all set, but just still hasn't made one yet. Just needs to jump in and do it. I think he's on his... I think he's just got home from a little trip. Excuse me, sorry. So hopefully he's going to make a video soon. I'm home now, coming soon, says Jonathan. Let us go to... I'm subscribed to Jonathan, even though he hasn't made any videos. See if I can put Jonathan's channel. All right, let's have a look. Share. I will share. Copy link. Right, now get out of the way of the space bar. There we are. There is a link to Jonathan's channel. Go and subscribe, and you will be prepared for when he drops the hammer. Brings the heat. What video are you thinking of doing first, Jonathan? They're going to do a list. Top 10 Aventus clones. Oh, excuse me. Whilst I chew. Oops. Sorry, I picked up the wrong fucking thing there. Sorry, I'm chewing and it's disgraceful, really. I shouldn't be doing this on live stream. It's outrageous. Top 10 Zerjoff. Jonathan. I have to put Jonathan in a timeout. He's gone too far. It's no problem. Your rare stuff, John. That's what we want to say. Absolutely, Manly Santia, right. Zerjoff is the idyllis of fragrance. The lidils of fragrance, I beg your pardon. I don't know what that means. Let's have a look. I'm going to Google this, and if it comes up with all sorts of fucking outrageousness. Oh, you mean the Lidl? Richie J shops at Lidl. Or is it Aldi? He shops at one of them. Swears by it. Swears by it. I'll start probably with a collection overview, multi-video. I'm sure you could do a Ramsey. I know that put Ramsey on his arse for a couple of days. He was knackered. A 3-hour shift. I got a message off him after he'd filmed it. He was like, "Oh," he was like, "I am weak." I said to him, I couldn't do it. I physically couldn't do it. Literally. I told you about my mate who asked us to drive down to South Wales, didn't I? Goodness gracious. He said, oh, I want to buy a car. I was like, well, set yourself on, mate. You're not getting me to drive down there. Christ, on a bike. Just the thought of it hurt me back. Sure, I pulled something. Top 10 complimented, of course, says Pradeep. Anything can be complimented if you're not ugly. Oh. Jonathan says, there's no way I made a movie video the other days with just the frags on my desk. Took an hour. Christ. A mock video, not a movie video. Oh. What do we have here? What's me candle doing? Alright, hold on, I'm going to get me bit knife. Because I'm going to turn it off in a minute. Oh dear, where is my bit knife? There it is. Okay. I'm going to feng shui my candle for a minute. Oh, Jane's right, like it isn't burning properly at all. Get off. It's a beautiful smelling candle though. Candle smells better, it's in better shape than the fragrance at the minute. I was smelling the Coeur de Jean Eau Noir. It's just not as good. It's not as good as the Demachy one. It doesn't bode well. Cologne Blanche as well. Bit shit. Although Dior did give us a birthday present. So that was a boon. That was nice of them. I'm a silver member. I said, look me in the eye and tell me I'm not a gold member. It's not very fair. Oh, pardon me. There's no way I'm Joke. Are you more in favour of layering or against? I'm more against it, mate, to be honest. So, the only layering I would ever do would be to put an eau de cologne on top of an eau de parfum or a parfum, but they would be of the same fragrance. So you would get opium parfum, pure perfume, right? And then put the eau de toilette over the top of it. I wouldn't put different fragrances, certainly not from different houses, over the top of each other. I think that's gimmick. I think that's just something people have invented to talk about. If you want the truth, I'm 100% with Eugene on that. It's not that I don't agree with it, because I mean it's not like morally reprehensible, is it? You know what I mean? I just think it's not in keeping with the idea of what I like. I can't imagine putting something over the top of Balenciaga Pour Homme. Just the idea of it's just bananas, you know? Just, if you have to layer something with something else, to me, that shows that the original fragrance isn't good enough. Does that make sense? It shows there's like a huge weakness there. Like, you shouldn't have to. The type of fragrances that I'm into, right? Vintage fragrances, older fragrances are more complex, just like it. Like, you get less complex fragrances now than what you used to. It's just they just are, you know. And I mean, don't get us wrong. Sometimes some fragrances these days will, but there's a general trend towards simpler fragrances. You can see that in the note breakdown, where they say it's only got 3 notes in it. You can see it in marketing. You can see it. All sorts of stuff, right? But for me, the idea of layering a fragrance like Chorus, which changes so much throughout its life when you're wearing it, with something else which won't be in step, that just jar, You know, you might be able to get away with that when the base notes are just ambrenicide and ambroxan, right? Because it's just 2 notes. You know, like Uncut Gem, you could layer that with fucking anything because it's basic as fuck, right? You cannot layer complex fragrances against each other because they are going to clash, you know, and not in a good way. Fosco says, I remember all reviewers saying LDDM was artistic but unwearable back in the day. It's literally the most complimented fragrance I have. People love it. It's a classic, and it's a classic for a reason. It's a classic, and it's a classic for a good reason. It is an absolutely brilliant fragrance. The idea that a self-taught perfumer made that. When you smell most self-taught perfumers' perfumes now, shows you just how good Andy Tower really is. Like, seriously, what a fragrance that is. It's a classic for a reason. That's usually the case with a lot of things. I mean, you can look at other stuff like Le Male, which is a classic for no reason, in my opinion. I fucking hate that shit. I've always hated it as well. It's not like I became a fucking fragrance nerd and then was like, oh, like, I'm a hipster, I'm too cool for this now. No, I've always hated that shit. Coeur de Jean style is not for me. I don't like most of the stuff he's made. I do like some of it. All right. But the fact that he has dominated perfume for 25 years now, basically his style, you know, can't think of many other perfumers who have had such a huge influence on the general direction of perfume as Francis Coeur de Jean. For good or for bad, and in my opinion, for bad. He's made things simpler. Now, that does jar with what I said earlier about it's easy to make things simpler, but he's had a lot of success doing it. Whatever he's done has spoken to people, right? I said earlier that there's genius in simplicity. I just think that Le Male, fucking Baccarat Rouge, like, loads of the stuff he's done's been really, really poor. And then there's other stuff that he's done that I really, really like Eau Noir. Eau Noir is one of the best fragrances of this, like, of the millennium. You know? Like, how do you cut, like, I mean, it shows an incredible breadth. You know? Like, I'm struggling. I can feel myself struggling to, like, reconcile it. You know? The thing is that he wouldn't make Eau Noir for his own brand. I think I've just seen somebody comment that there. He wouldn't make Eau Noir unless directed. Like, yeah. He wouldn't make Eau Noir for his own brand. Like, mental. I recommended Fragrances of Ireland Patrick to a mate, was excited for him to try it. His first impression was, smells like Brut Intense, which costs $6. Yikes. Omar says, I have conflict by collecting stuff. I used to live with a backpack and a computer. Basically now a backpack, one computer, and 100 fragrances. Compliment videos are such bullshit, says Fosco. Most people in my world would find modern designers to smell annoying or like you're trying too hard. Yeah. Layering is like the equivalent of those shit fusion restaurants. Yes, DJ, that's right. Jonathan says, I've travelled to the Middle East and layering is the law. It's a different world, fragrance-wise. They've got their own perfume history. And that's fair enough. I get it. That's fine, right? They don't have the complicated. I mean, the basis of Western perfumery is fine French perfume, isn't it? You know, Middle Eastern perfume's not like that. Middle Eastern perfumes are more about the materials, and you can get like complex ones and stuff, but it's usually much more about, you get an oud, and an oud had like one oud has different facets within it, you know, or you can mix a couple of ouds to see what you get out of. Whereas in the West, we take lots and lots and lots of different accords and piece them together like a jigsaw. James Crowder says, I have never layered, but I could see layering a more simple, zingy citrus perfume over something else to give it more pop in the opening. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying, to bring a perfume back to life. Say you take Leather Oud and you put something like Eau de Cologne Imperial by Guerlain over the top of it. Excuse me. But that's about as far as I would ever go. I'd put an Eau de Cologne over an Eau de Parfum. But usually it would be of the same fragrance, you know? It's not, I've got to be honest, it's not really something I'm interested in, like doesn't intrigue us whatsoever. Natalia, you are lovely. Thank you. Host Beef, welcome Host Beef. The Uncut Gem story also sound vaguely familiar to the Le Parfum La Thérèse story, a fragrance hidden away for years, now being finally released by Mal. Yawn. It's bollocks like. So I'm getting messages off Ramsey, but he's not watching the video. Outrageous. DJ says, MFK directed, unless directed, is pure wank. You're not wrong. Yes, but some artists practice minimalism. No, it's a fair point. It's a very fair point. He would never make Eau Noir unless directed, says DJ. Fosco says, Eleanor is revered and is as minimalist as can get. I think, this is my hot take, right? And I've said this before, and I dare say I'll say it again. I think Jean-Claude Elena is massively overrated. I just don't get it. There's a few things he's done that are all right, but not huge. Not huge on Jean-Claude Elena, if I'm being perfectly honest. Jonathan says it's almost like he made Eau Noir in anger. Pradeep says it just doesn't sell. No one's buying the new Eau Noir either. That's the main reason. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think that. Yeah, you've got a very, very good point there. Eau Noir just is never going to be a big seller because of just, it's just not that type of fragrance, is it? You know? Natalia, hey y'all. Just wanted to wish you a great Friday and a good night. Rich, I love your streams. Where the hell is our podcast? Yes. I need to get Ramsey and Rachel together and we will make a podcast. Rachel's keen. I'm keen now. I've got my new phone and I'm figuring it out and I've got a microphone, and if somebody else knows how to put that shit together, I'm happy to talk. You know, I will offer my verbiage. But there we are. No one was buying Eau Noir regardless of version, says DJ. Shit was kept in drawers in Paris. Yeah, I think it just, yeah, I would agree. I don't give a fuck. I love the new Eau Noir, says Fosco. That's cool. The best thing to do, the best thing to be is be as happy and confident in what you like as you can be, and then if you can manage to make that trick, you can then be okay with other people not liking what you like. You know? You can sit and say, well, that's rubbish, or I don't agree, but like, it's not going to ruin your day. You know? People who get really, it baffles me, that. And it always has. People who get really upset and angry about people who don't like the same things they like. It's just like, shut up. Just it doesn't matter that much. Absolute Paula Swar and Derby didn't sell either. Well, Derby? No, I think you're right. Derby, because they both got discontinued. I mean, Derby's one of those fragrances that's been discontinued twice. You know? Like, that's how popular Derby was. Absolute Paula Swar. I had the opportunity to buy the cologne of that, you know, Absolute Paula Swar Parfum, Eau de Parfum. I've got that, but there's a cologne version as well. But somebody wanted bank for it. And I was like, ooh, no. But Prody's got a point. Some of the most famous vintage fragrances. Look at Balenciaga Pour Homme. It only had one run. There was no reformulations. You know? It's just how it is. And I was born 15, 20 years too late. I'm kind of afraid to try the new one. I love the old one, says Jonathan. Yeah, those are fragrances that may be popular amongst us, but we are a minority, something that people forget. No, I totally agree. You're absolutely spot on. You're absolutely spot on. We've got to remember we live in a goldfish bowl as far as fragrances are concerned. We really do. It's just like, and we think that because we're so into it that we're right, when we're only one person, one vote, and there's like 38, 40 of us sitting in here, and we're all, I mean, we can't even all agree. There's only 40 of us. Say there's only 40 of us in here. Fragrance is a huge business. If we spent our entire life savings, it wouldn't make a fucking blip. It wouldn't make one iota of difference to the fragrance market if every one of us in here spent all the money we own. If we sold our houses and spent every single, like, liquidated all our assets, spent everything, it wouldn't make a fucking blind bit of difference to the market on fragrances. You know? That's why the fragrance group. That's why they focus group things and do lots of marketing and testing. That's why Sauvage sells, and we all think it's shit. You know. Yes, our opinions matter and should matter, and they do matter to each other, and like, because we're enthusiasts, you know. But companies are not going to pander to us to the point where they're going to change their. They are going to change their strategies, you know, which more's the pity, to be honest with you. But there is life. There is life. Oops. Anyone tried Derek from 1978? Yes, I've got a mini. Hello, Eugene. Welcome. We've been talking about you. I wore the Deliric skis today, as did Germs. And a good time was had by all. Cool. Is it similar to anything else you've put your nose on, Jonathan? Says Marley Sense. Sheila says, I layered interlude 53 with Black Iris one Sunday morning. Lol. My protest to going to church so early. Compliments galore from the ladies, but they know I'm single, so... Jonathan says, it's pretty unique, great opening, very complex. Duncan turned me on to it. Yes, it's one of Duncan's big loves. Oops. Excuse me. Do you have Dior Cologne 2007 was created by MFK, says Enrique? No, it wasn't. Apparently it was created by oh fuck me, Olivia Polish. Apparently the Francis Curtijon thing was a myth. I've got an itchy nose. So, you think, James says, I know that it's different than the original, but if I were to try the new Eau Noir, would it give me an idea whether or not I'd go any further trying to sample or even buy an even old bottle? Yes. Yes, it would. Shiva dropping panties at church. Pranav Shkula says, I think Thierry Vassar will have a steady the ship but girl on. Apparently he's not in sole control, so I wouldn't have thought so. Manny says, seems Duncan has turned a lot of vintage fans onto great unknown gems. Yes, he has, that's right. Spaced Out says, oh dear, I need to catch up with the chat before it gets beyond us. Spaced Out says, Eau Noir is a niche fragrance in the true sense of that word. I need to get a green juice bottle, though I've got 2 of them, sorry, but I fucking love it. Still on the hunt for vintage Tuscan leather, says American Pie. I swear it's harder to find the Balenciaga pour on. It will be. People, it was a hit. That's the thing. People would have gone through those. People would have gone through those bottles of vintage Tuscan leather at the time. That's the problem. Excuse me, I'm making strange noises. Jonathan says, I love a good obscure fragrance, but Duncan is a king of the unknown frag. Hello, Bri. Eugene loves JCE. Boo. Some of the fragrance we love and talk about were commercial failures. Completely, I would say most of them were in my case. Yeah. Eleanor should have done Uncut Gem with his light touch. Should have been such a light touch that he didn't even fucking make it. Just like ghosted it, you know? Egoist, Derby, M7, I know what this is going to be. Egoist, Derby, and M7, all commercial flops, all amazing, absolutely. Absolutely, Fosco, you couldn't be more right. And Jonathan agrees as well. Coca Rico, Coca Rico's all right. I think it's too similar to Lidge. Tom Ford doesn't even focus group. They just throw shit out and see what sticks. Else can discontinue. It feels like that these days, doesn't it? It does feel like he's lost his way, like he's lost his touch as far as fragrance is concerned. Smelling Bois Marocain again today. Not great. Not great. Eugene says, I may or may not have bought 5 new perfumes today. Well done. Eugene, have you tried Shalimar Millesime Tonka yet, says Enrique? I asked about that in the shop today. Has anybody seen the new Aqua Allegoria Fortes that they've brought out? Oh, thick versions of those fragrances, ahoy. I was Serge Luton's De Profundis today, says Spaced Out. Jonathan says, may or may not look. Great point, Rich says, Fosco, too many people get upset about different preferences. We all have different experiences. It would be a red flag to agree on everything. Yeah. You should always listen to people who disagree with you, because you might learn something new. It's like the amount of shit that I've learned, like the amount of stuff that I've smelled and the amount of shit that I've learned about perfumes that I already own simply through talking to Eugene about them, because he experiences the fragrances in a completely different way. It's like we've got very different tastes. Like sometimes it totally overlaps, you know what I mean? Like when we smelled those Matier Premiers and we were like, shit. You know what I mean? Falcon leathers. Oh, it's awful. Oh, it's bad. We agree on certain things, and then on other things you totally disagree. And then when you hear like the other person explain it, you understand and you smell it like that as well. So you get like a different point of view too. Excuse me. Oh. Pike. Welcome, Pike. Speaking of MFK, first time I've ever seen a Ciel de Gomme on eBay. It's just come on and sealed, but they want £800. And it's in the US, so I might have had a go with an offer. Good Lord. Pike, just leave that one, mate. Just leave that one, mate. No. 800 quid for Ciel de Gomme. Not for me, mate. But, I mean, fucking hell, it's your money, like, you know. What you could do is you could ring around, I mean, before you spend your 800 quid, you could ring around all the different MFK boutiques, you know. Ask them if they've got a bottle stashed in the back of their cupboards. That's worked for me once or twice before. When have I ever found... When did that happen to me? I'm sure it was with the Dior Privé. And I got a vintage version of something, like a Queer Canage or something like that. That's why I've got 2 bottles of Queer Canage. I'm pretty sure that was it. Bloody stupid mind. I've got fucking the best part of a litre of that stuff. I need to start wearing it, like. Omar says, in the morning I use Shergee. For some reason I find a huge soap smell and it's the iris. I never heard someone mentioning that it's the iris, mate. I think Shergee's an iris perfume rather than a tobacco perfume. I mean, it's got tobacco in it. It's got hay in it as well. It's beautiful. It's an amazing creation. But it's definitely the iris. Enrique says, Eugene probably got Hermes Violet Vilinka. Violet Vilinka, ooh, says DJ. It wishes it was Madame Jolie so bad. The Forte's miss of nuances. Miss of the nuances from the normal versions. Miss all, says DJ. Eugene saved me a lot of money and told me what brands are worth the money, basically, says Spaced Out. Yeah. £800 for unicorn juice. Omar says £800 better to educate a kid for 2 years. Where can you educate a child for 2 years for 800 quid? You get charged more than that per term in this country if you want to go private. Per term. Probably about 5 times that per term if you want to go private in this country. DJ says, make sure you actually want it and it's not FOMO. Yeah, we've all bought perfumes out of fear of missing out before, haven't we? Oh, excuse me. Whilst I turn over, I am done on this side. Can't get over me mate asking us to take them to South Wales. Not even North Wales. Christ. Oh dear. So Eugene says he's bought 5 perfumes today. I wonder what they are. Like, I genuinely don't know. I'm going to pester him after this stream, though. Find out. I imagine he's going to make a video about them. DJ says, make sure you actually want it and not FOMO. It's good advice. So there's this website I use called Essenza Nobile. And on that website, it has this facility to let you knock up a wish list. So I'm going to visit that website after this and check out my wish list, see what's on there. I know Enchanted Forest's on there, but I'm scared because it's been a long time since I smelled it. I need to get in touch with Hillary. She wants some pictures of seals, so I'll send her some of those and see if she can advise me on whether the modern formulation is as good as the older formulations. That's a douche 4 as well. That was when he was in his Blackberry Blackcurrant sort of stage. You know, around the time he was doing Jubilation 25. So, a bloody good fragrance, that Jubilation 25. It's one of the most expensive smelling fragrances you'll smell. You know, you want to smell like you've got oil wealth. Wear Jubilation 25. Eugene's got a snap cap, not a magnetic cap. I'm extremely jealous. Omar says some education groups charge you $30 USD a month to educate kids in South America. 800. 800 is 30 times 12 over 2.5 years. DJ says Francesca Bianchi fragrances are bad in my opinion. CMV, I don't know what CMV means. What you fucking bastards. Fucking Tinder bastards. I'm going to report this user. Yeah, snitch on you, you little bastards. DJ says Francesca Bianchi fragrances are bad, in my opinion. Yeah, I've got to be honest. I don't rate Francesca Bianchi. Sorry. Just not for me. What does CMV mean? Tinder Hot XYZ, best adult dating site. Screw you. I am going to report all of your shit. Get off my timeline. You still listen to Les Odorants? Every once in a while, yeah. When I was driving down to meet Alan, I listened to a couple of episodes. Well, I listened to an episode, which was like 2 hours long, and then I was like, right. I was going to listen to another one on the way back up, and I was like, oh, I've heard enough. But yes, I do. I listen to them. Just not like 3 episodes on the bounce, you know. Comes across so amateurish, clear moments of harshness and acridness in many compositions, says DJ. I feel many could be improved if they had the concentration reduced, but to many people only care about strength and smelling like battery acid is okay. Yeah, it's I think that's a reason, a big reason why people like these indie perfumes now, because so many designer perfumes are shit and boring that it makes the indie perfumers look better by proxy, if you want the truth. Like, designers and a lot of niche as well have reduced their standards to increase their margins to the point where they are so bad that they've had such a race to the bottom that people who are really not good have found an entry into the market. You know? And the really, I mean, I say they shouldn't be there. That's a harsh thing to say. I'm not saying that they don't have the right to do that. But by the same token, I've got a right as well to like stand back and say, this ain't great. And I'm just one person. I am but one duck, you know? What do you think of Parfum de Thérèse, Rich? I don't remember it as well as I should. I don't remember it as well as I should, to be honest with you. I'm not that familiar with it. It's a bit like Carnal Flower. I'm not massively familiar with that either. DJ says there are some really good indie perfumers, but a lot of shit ones that get more attention than they should. Yes, that's true. Like Hans Hendley. Hans Hendley's brilliant. I mean, he really is. I've tried his sample set. I've got his sample set ages ago, a long time ago, before I started making videos. And he very kindly sent me a bottle, not a bottle, sorry. If I had a bottle of Bloodline, you'd have heard about that, don't worry. But he sent us a sample of Bloodline. That material is one of the best materials that I've ever smelled. Just outright. But you're right, there are some very good indie perfumers. Andy Tower, you know. Liz Moores is actually a good perfumer. I imagine some of those have had help along the way, though. Like, maybe it's just raw talent, you know. Maybe it is just raw talent. But it does feel like you can tell when there's been input from outside, you know. DJ says, because regardless of niche, indie, artisan, and designer, there is always McDonald's sense and consumers. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know someone who was delighted to find a clone of Aventus for about fucking 15 quid that this local woman made. And it smelled what, 80, 90% like Aventus? To me, it smelled like shit, right? To him, he was fucking over the moon, as was his daughter-in-law, as was his wife. Right? They were all fucking buzzing. We're like, wow, that's great, isn't it? Because they knew I'm into fucking, like, what we call aftershave, vintage perfume. They were like, that's great, isn't it? And I just, do you know what it is? I didn't have the fucking time. I didn't have the inclination. And I didn't want to be that wanker that was like, but actually, you know what I mean? They don't care. They just want to be happy. And I think they just wanted validation. And yeah. I just didn't want to be that wanker. You never know. On another day, I might have woke up on the other side of the bed and just been like, no, mate, shit. You know? Pike says, my max would be 500, and for that, I'd want the original made for Ciel de Gomme that Sebastian has, and not the one made for general release. Totally different colour and potency for what he said. Yeah, for the kind of money you're talking about spending, mate, you want the right thing. Like I did with Derby. Tiziana Terenzi is overpriced garbage, yes. I feel like a lot of indie houses have sold out to larger brands, says American Pie. Yeah, I think they've certainly felt like they've got some money. They've set out with the best of intentions, and then they've seen some money off some of their creations, and they've been like, ooh, I like money. You know what I mean? I'd like to have more money. I get it. Do I like it? Not really. Enrique says, what are your favourite perfumes from Bertrand Duchefort? Timbuktu, Jubilation 25, Enchanted Forest. Pike says, but I've already spent my October budget on YSL Noble Leather and Midnight in Paris EDP, both been on my want list for a long time. You know, I've got a bottle of Midnight in Paris EDT, and I think I'm going to sell it. Sorry for coughing in your ears. Both been on my want list for a long time. Well, there's nothing better than finally getting a couple of perfumes that you've wanted for a long time. That is genuinely a real joy about buying perfume. American Pie says, I'm pretty sure Liz Moores has had help from Duchefort when she extracts oak moss. Whoa, Liz Moores, 52, you know. Fucking lovely. Fosco says, I think there is some raw talent with Liz Moores, Antonio Gardoni, etc. that many master perfumers just lack. yes, there is that sort of thing that, like, so I'm going to use an example here. One of my mates, well, Richie G, one of his best mates, or his best mate, is a pilot in the military, fast jet pilot, training to be a fast jet pilot, dogfights and all of that kind of thing, right? And he went for his final exam, right? And he failed by like a whisker, right? And they said, look, you failed. In the past, we would have let you retake the exam and keep going until you fucking managed it. You're a great pilot and all of that. But there's been a few high-profile incidents over the past few years, and it's always been the people who have just scraped through. And his mate came back to him and said, do you know what the thing is? I could have revised, I could have practiced, and I could have tried more and more and more and kept going forever and never got there because I just lack that little bit of a spark. I just lack that natural God-given fucking talent that the other people who have passed have. And he's like, there's just nothing you can do about that. So he says, I'm going to go and make loads of money flying fucking commercial airplanes. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But he was like, as it stands, I'm not going to be like a combat fast jet pilot anymore. And I think that's true of a lot of things. You could say that about sports people. You can say that about fucking people in business. You know, you can train, you can have all the qualifications in the world, but if somebody's got natural talent and they've just got it, just that X factor, just that little bit more, there's nothing you can do about it. And you can get to similar levels, but what you find is, as well as if you put somebody with natural talent, natural fucking God-given talent, and then they work on it as well. You know, if you put the two things together, unstoppable. Look at Lionel Messi, the football player. Works all the hours God sends, by the sound of it. Ronaldo as well, even though I think he's a complete prick. Alleged rapist. But them two have natural God-given talent, and they've worked their fucking arses off as well. In most people, it's one or the other, you know? And in some people, it's neither. So, that's life. I think you made a good point there, Fosco. AA, welcome. Good evening. Centre of the Day, Santa Maria Novella, Po de España. Ramsey loves that stuff. DJ says the big perfume or school perfumers are forced to conform, else face ejection. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a big problem as well. Since they've opened the doors to more people, the classroom sizes have got bigger. And it seems the quality of the tutelage has gone down. You know, the quality of the graduates has gone down. It's like what do they call it? Grade inflation. It's become a business. The teaching of these people has become a business, you know. Kasim, hi. Hi, everyone. I'm in a good mood today. Well done. Milday and Liverpool are winning again. Ugh, Liverpool. Newcastle won yesterday. Excuse me. Oh. Well, if you put the EDT on eBay, I'll buy it. As my EDT bottle is 2/3 empty. Mate, I'd sell it off eBay, and you could have it a bit cheaper, and I could make a little bit more money because they wouldn't get their fees. Shiva says, time to make dinner. Take care, everyone. Goodbye, Shiva. Thank you. Adam says, Ronaldo left the stadium. Horrible shithouse that he is. I can't stand him. Angry that they have beaten us. Guess who is next on the weekend? Yes. Anyway, it's 2 hours and 5 minutes. I appreciate there is still 38 people here. And thank you all for watching. I'm going to go. I appreciate everyone who has left a like. 36 likes. Thank you. I appreciate those who have bought me a coffee. You are too kind. I do appreciate it. I will be thanking you via the website in a few minutes. American Pie says, I will literally pay anyone's child support if they sell me a bottle of vintage Tuscan leather. How vintage are you talking? American Pie. Anyway, this is a conversation for another day. Thank you, everybody. It has been a pleasure, as always. I will speak to you again soon. Possibly do a video tomorrow. Good night.